Welcome, everybody. It's your boy Nolan,
Khalil.
and we are the Midwest Dynasty Kings, here to bring you week to week just fantasy football knowledge, particularly dealing with the Dynasty uh, type of, I guess, style. I'm not used to that, but I know Kaleem is, so that's what we're here for. How you feeling today, man?
Good, good, man. I'm happy we was able to get together and do this. We got that startup draft coming. Thinking of like 11 days. It's coming up pretty soon, so ready to dive into it. Get the dynasty, just football season, started in general. So I'm excited.
Yeah, not speaking of that, we I feel like we've both been in a couple of they call them redrafts, right? Throughout our illustrious career within fantasy football. But I've never done a dynasty, so this is kind of a first for me.
Yep,
You've been in one, right?
yep. It has been a few years now. I think we are in going into year 5 already. It's crazy.
So year five, that is pretty wild. Year five,
Yeah.
so that means 5 years of his grinding, trying to keep that same team afloat, throughout those years. So just to kick off this episode, we're going to talk about like the drafting techniques when it comes to a dynasty over a redraft. So, what are
Mhm.
some of your takes on like that?
Well, redraft, of course, you got the year by year, all the players in the pool every year. You just starting over from scratch. Dynasty is a whole new world. I don't really love it much better, to be honest with you. You have your startup draft, just like redraft. You draft your team, but this time you keep your team throughout every season, and then you just got your rookie drafts. You get draft picks, for the next 3 years, where you can trade, whether set up your team, whether you're in win now mode or you want to build for the future. So it's got a lot of more strategy to it. So I'm loving it much more, to be honest with you.
So essentially when you draft somebody, that's like your person, right? So let's say like you drafted, so you said 5 years ago, man, who was hot? So like it's like Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Whoever got Joe Burrow, they pretty much got him the whole time.
yeah. That's the thing too. So that's why the startup drafts are so important. I actually, looking back, thinking about my roster and teams, I had I think I started off the startup draft and I had Mahomes. And then I just
What?
used this value. Yeah, I used this value and got up out of there. Traded him, switched some stuff around. Wound up getting Bijan Robinson with the first pick. My team was kind of trash like the first 2 seasons, and I had to start building for the future. And I'm actually the
Wow.
last 2 years in that dynasty league. I'm the actually back to back champion. So got the trophy
So you're
downstairs.
so
Yeah,
so it just sounds like you have to suffer, sometimes for a couple of years in order to make your way into that
yeah.
into that championship conversation.
Yeah, and I think I had to pivot a little bit because everybody's I think the whole league was kind of used to redraft, and then getting used to dynasty is a whole nother lane. So I'm like, okay, I can switch off some picks. I'm strong with QB, for example, Mahomes. I can get off him. I can maybe get some
Okay.
picks or get a running back. So I kind of just slowly just started filling my team out. They was actually kind of joking and laughing at me at first, like, man, what's Kareem doing? He got all these draft picks. He's moving these players around. He has no
So they weren't
real
even
veterans. Yeah, they was like
so
judging
they
me.
weren't
I was
even
getting
concerned.
judged.
So they weren't even concerned with the draft picks. Like they were just like, oh, cool draft pick. We go ahead and have it.
Yeah. Because we weren't doing actually dynasty in its true form, to be honest. Because we was working out the kinks. So we had like our startup draft spots, and then if you drop players, let's just say I'm just gonna say something random. Tyreek Hill in round 2 from the startup draft. If you decided to not keep Tyreek, you have that second round pick to pick. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? And that from your startup draft. But we was working out the kinks, to be honest with you. We wasn't really truly doing dynasty like how we're going to start rolling this out. And then so the first 2 years was kind of we was kind of mixing. It was kind of moving pieces, but the last 2 years have been like legit. how the dynasty formats are typically, going. So, but yeah, so I just kind of use that to my advantage. I'm getting rid of all these players, make some trades, opens up some spots, and then just start building around the future. So add like now I got like key pieces. I got Baker Mayfield. I got uh who else I got? I got Lad McConkey. I got
Oh wow.
Brian Thomas Jr. So
So
I'm
you're
I'm
so you're definitely looking towards the future.
yep,
So
yep, yep. So that's my team now. So I think I'm kind of built for the future now. Now I'm kind of just kind of coasting and just filling in my roster as I need it. So,
okay.
yep,
So
yep.
just a quick little background. Me and Kaleem, we're both in a dynasty league right now, and since it is my first year, I kind of wanted to showcase and to document how this journey is going to go. So, when it comes to drafting and making sure that you're picking for the future, everywhere that I've read so far, they talk about uh you're drafting for age. You're really not drafting, solely on skill. You're drafting on like that longevity of that player.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I know dynasty leagues they talk about that too. If whether you in win now mode, they just want to get the vets. Like for example, you want a Tyreek, you think you set up for right now to win. If I just want to
Right,
try to
right,
go ahead and get me a championship, and I know I got to refresh my team if they old and they collapse, that's cool. But I got my ship now. It's like some
right.
people think like that. But I think it's cool, just like even if it's a redraft dynasty or whatever. What makes it cool to me, I like fantasy football just for the fact of everybody have their own mentality of how to go about. They got
Yeah,
their own written rule of what they think is gonna get through those championships, and that's the cool part. Everybody kind of think differently, so we all don't think the same. That's for the love of the game. So I think that's
yeah,
the cool. That's the best part.
yeah. I feel like everybody has their own I guess draft strategy. I know I have mines, and a lot of people, when I first started my
Hmm.
strategy, a lot of people were just, one, they didn't understand it. I think they didn't understand it, or they were still so hyped around like that running back heavy league, where it's
Hmm.
like your running back has to be your first round pick,
Right.
or
Right.
when it shifted to like wide receiver, it has to be like your first pick. I've always stuck with quarterback in the first
Mm-hmm.
round every single time, because I've always told myself, if you have a guarantee quarterback, he has possession of the football every single play. So, it could be a make or break, but if it's a quarterback who can run too, then you're
Yeah.
golden. But he has possession. That running back, like if they're in a pass heavy, or if they're like in a 2 minute drill, that running back's
Yeah.
get no touches.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's it's like I said, everybody got their little spin on it. That's what's cool. So in another league, not to veer off too much, another league that I run, it's actually a two QB league. So that's
yep,
when it get real interesting where, that first round QBs just going off the board. Certain ones you just know
yeah,
what's gonna happen. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, even
they
Jalen
get hit up quick.
Hurts, yeah, you gonna have that going on too. So but I think it's cool because some people live and die by the QB. I got one guy, he actually in our league that we starting up. He is I'm not getting a QB. You all can go ahead and do what you're doing. I'm gonna get these skilled players, and I'm gonna go get him me a QB round 6, round 7, round 8, and I'm just gonna ride. Everybody got their own different spin, but then they load it. You know what I'm saying, on the skilled players.
I mean, they
It
can't.
all,
So
it all depends. All depends.
yeah, I feel like with the skill players, the reason why I don't really jump to them is because, one, if you don't get the one that you want, it kind of you have to pivot. But also, we've seen with all these running backs that people pick up, and they end up getting hurt, and next thing you know, like, you got to pivot anyway. So, and I mean, I feel like the same thing can happen with quarterbacks, but
Yeah.
I've seen it more so with those skill position players, where you draft them, because they did great the year before, and then
Yeah.
they end up, tearing something, or just something crazy happening. And it's
Yeah.
just it's just one of those things where it's like, man, you kind of lucked out, but you could have drafted somebody else, not not in that position. I don't know. I've always felt like like the running back position was always a scary one for me at least.
Yeah, it get tricky. You know, I think you make a case for any position really. I think what hurts you the most is like your first 2 round picks. If they get hurt, you like
Yep.
you just damaged. It's hard to kind of repair that. If it's a
Yeah,
top running
season's pretty
back,
much.
you made that selection to do. People start veering off, like you said, to the wide receiver route. They make you think it's safer, but everybody got their spin. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So what in your view right now? Let me see. I'm checking on the sleeper app.
yeah.
Um, who do you think is like the the I guess like the go-to player right now?
I was just like first round, like with like first picks. You thinking
Yeah, who do
just
you
off
who do you
bat?
who do you think this year in redraft and also dynasty is gonna go first? Like what's your thought on it? Because I have an idea of who I think might go first in
Just a
in pretty much every draft.
just standard. Okay, just okay. We're not gonna talk about two QB. Just standard, the typical draft.
I mean,
Uh,
even two. You know
but
what's crazy? I feel like even in the
because
two QBs.
I got different answers for different. Okay, so for standard, let's just say off bat the top three across the board: Bijan, Gibbs, Jamar Chase.
The
Those
fact that you did
those rotation of three, I think is that's what's going your top three is going to consist of to me. That's what I think.
really
Yes, yes. It's
wow.
those three. I'm not gonna see you're gonna see. I'll be surprised if anything outside of those three. Not
I was
even
thinking
one, two, or three. They might trickle in, but But go ahead.
I was thinking Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and then probably Bijan.
Oh yeah, Gibbs is up there. I think the whole Montgomery thing. So I know that's the part that's taking his shine. But I
Not
don't know. I
like
think I think it's his time. I think they just gonna go ahead and I think they slowly weaning off Montgomery. You know what I'm saying? I think they see what's going on with Gibbs and they just gonna might as well just gonna let him run. But
okay. How do
those
you
are
how
three
you feel
for
about
me.
Saquon?
I'm so conflicted, man.
See, that's what I'm saying. Hey,
Because it's like you go historic season, running back, Super Bowl, all that good stuff. Almost broke the record. Was it Dickerson's record? All that good stuff.
yeah.
I'm with you, but I'm not really superstitious. He on the Madden cover. You got to be careful.
See, that's gonna
Yeah,
get some
usually.
people.
And then they say usually, when you had them historic seasons for running backs, that next year they don't, all that mileage, and then he getting up there in age, running backs. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna let somebody else go ahead and
And,
say
and pick
Saquon.
them
To
up.
be honest,
So you know what's crazy? I think for this dynasty draft, what a lot of people are
hmm
going to do, they're going to pass on Saquon.
yeah,
I feel like if he's still available for me at least,
yeah,
because I'm drafted pretty low, if he's still available for me at least, I might pick him up third, if not fourth round. I don't think he's
yeah,
going to be there, but if he is, because of the factor of his age, the Madden cover, all that,
yeah, yeah,
I feel like he's one of those steals. I think
yeah. No, no, I got
um,
you. I don't think
because
third or fourth. I don't think third or fourth round. I could see a second round probably. But
yeah,
yeah,
because
oh
I
yeah,
know.
it's a must. It's a must draft though. Third or fourth round. I agree.
There's a lot of people too that are worried about Justin Jefferson just because of JJ McCarthy. But we've
Yeah.
seen Justin Jefferson thrive off of
No
uh
QBs. Yeah,
yeah,
he wasn't a rare what they say QB proof receiver. So
right. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like he's gonna be up there. But Jamar Chase for sure. Him and Joe Burrow, with that triple crown last year, I think he's just gonna keep he's gonna keep moving.
yeah, you could see the signs. I just
Bijan, I feel like I haven't watched Bijan enough to
Mhm.
see that flash of like he's gonna be the dude that I need to draft, or he's
Yeah.
gonna be that guy in Atlanta. I haven't seen that flash. I haven't
No, I got you.
I haven't really watched that much football, being overseas. But
Yeah.
um,
It's different that what's crazy is that Um, I don't get some bias. I know what you mean. It's different, like when you have a player on your team, like you get to see the week to week and how it's going. The fact that
Okay,
I've had Bijan on my roster, it's like, oh,
you saw
I see the
that
progress.
production.
I see what's come. You could tell, and I may not see all the games at Atlanta myself, or I see the recaps, or catching red zone. Those shifty, it's just certain things you see at running backs. You know how it goes. It's like, okay, yeah, you're a little different from the rest. I just think he's not. I don't think he's really truly been unleashed all the way. Kind of like Gibbs, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it gonna be his breakout year? You think this year?
Yeah, because they both kind of build, and I think they can both have some monster years to build on what they did last year. To be honest with you, obviously
Okay.
knock on wood, bearing any type of injuries. Hopefully they have those issues. But
So so when drafting, I'm looking here. So when drafting in this dynasty, uh, does it doesn't really show how old they are. So you kind of have to have like that little bit of knowledge of like that player, what year they're in, what offense they're in. You
yep, yep,
know, are they susceptible to be traded or not?
yep,
Uh, because you don't want to. And then how does it work for the rookies? Are the rookies included in this draft as well?
yep. So the whole startup dynasty is everybody included. The only time
Okay,
dynasty, once we get in and draft everybody, it's all everybody's the current rookies as well. And then just the following years, it'll just be drafting
you'll
a
just be the
rookie
rookies.
draft based off of 2026 draft class. Yep, that
Okay.
comes in. It's solely just off the rookie draft class, and it's on. That's why it's only the 4 rounds. So all we doing is rookies. I think they might have an option. Since I'm co-commissioning, with my guy Wolf. I think we may have the option to just straight rookies, or if you just want to use one of your picks for like a free agent that's sitting there. Let's just say you got a veteran that's sitting there that's not in the pot, hasn't been picked up. But that's in the works too. But I think majority is just gonna be all the rookies from the class.
Okay. That's
Yep,
pretty
yep,
cool though. I
yeah,
mean, I'm pretty excited about this new adventure when it comes to fantasy football. I mean, you know, I've been doing fantasy football for man, what, almost 15 years now. So,
yeah. It's
uh,
crazy.
doing this type of league, I'm like, but it's getting me excited again. I wasn't excited the past couple of years. I've been kind of like,
Yeah,
this is, getting on that boring type of edge,
mhm.
trying to mix things up with the auction draft and trying to mix things up with the two QB, right? Like, I feel like they're trying to reinvent the wheel, and that it was just really, really kind of getting stale. But this dynasty,
Yeah.
from what I've heard, it started to get some traction.
Yep, yep. And you get more fully invested with it, I feel like redraft, with the guys, you don't hear from nobody, the chat just did, you got your leagues going, and then you don't really get active until those last couple weeks before your draft. But Dynasty here,
Right.
if it works in this purest form, you talking all year in the draft, in the chat. You want to
Oh,
trade
yeah.
some 2027 picks? I got something for you.
Yeah.
Okay, you want my tight end? Okay, cool. Send it over. You drafted for the future. Okay, I want to win now. You got CMC on your roster. I know he older. I can give you a first round pick next year. It can get real. It can get real dope.
Hey,
A lot of
it,
options.
it get real
So
scary out there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I got I think I have a game plan going into the draft, but like I said, you don't know what the other 11 people really gonna do. So
Yeah, no, and I'm just looking at it now. Let's see if I can see the draft order. Let's see. I think I'm picking 10th.
yeah, yeah,
So,
out of 12.
I
So
mean,
then
that's
I'm
that's
eight. Yeah, I think I'm two before you. I think I'm eight. Pretty sure.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
So
that's I mean,
it's tough.
you're looking at, you're hoping that somebody is drafting for their future and they don't pick the player that you want to pick that can help you right
Yeah.
now.
Right. 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 So I always try to go in the drafts like I gotta have at least 1 to 3 people in my head each round. So if somebody gets taken, I'm just not, scrambling, don't know what I'm doing,
Oh yeah.
try to figure that part out. Uh,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, it's just one of them things. It's easier like the first maybe 2 or 3 rounds. You kind of know what's gonna be there, you know, and then it gets real deeper after that on what you want to do.
Yeah. I want to see.
Yeah,
So we're not doing defensive players. We got a quarterback, two running backs. We got three receivers, tight end, a flex with receiver, running back, tight end, a kicker, defense, a pretty decent bench. Some three IRs, which is crucial. Those IRs, I feel like people don't realize um, how how important those are for
mm,
the upcoming. I'm guessing years because you can have that person on an IR who's probably hurt
yeah,
all year, but you know for a fact that they might come back stronger the next year.
yep. So yeah, I think it's a total of 10 bench spots. I think we got 20
I think
slots
so.
total, not counting IR, the 3 IRs. So, but yeah, man, it's cool. It's gonna be real cool. See how this draft goes, and then see how I think we got a nice group of people. So how we kind of mix the people we think that's pretty active and it's gonna be engaging in the chats and getting trades off. So that's
Yeah,
what we need.
yeah. I feel like now's the time to be active. This is it's that starter league, so it is a
Hmm.
little weird to see if people are going to be committed. And I feel like with the trades that are going to be sent, you'll be able to know who's committed. Like, okay, this person's because they're trading.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, their future. So you can kind of tell like who wants to win right now.
yeah. And then it's like you gotta keep your team fresh. You might get comfortable. Oh no, I'm good. I don't need to. I'm just gonna take my little draft picks, not trade with anybody, and then a couple things can change. A trade happens, somebody get cut, some random, injury, and then you looking real crazy. That's
Yeah, but
that's
you
the
got to
part
pick
that
real quick.
keep you on your toes. Because sometimes you gotta wait. You might just have a throwaway year. You're just not competitive and all of that stuff too. So,
Right.
but
So
yeah,
just kind of make it uh it's gonna be like well known what's gonna happen. I feel like the first couple weeks is gonna be one of those things where it's like just to kind of feel out, see what everybody's trying to do.
yep.
And then once we figure it out, we're just gonna go with it.
Should be cool, yeah. And I think even just outside of Dynasty, just fantasy football period, you gonna have those moments, that first week or two, you like, man, my team's not doing nothing. You get to panicking a little bit. Do I
The
need to make
panic,
some
that
trades
panic mode
quick?
gets people.
It happens every year. You be 3 weeks in, I'm 0-3. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I'm not producing. I got the people I wanted, but they not happening. What's I
Oh,
thought I had a good
0-3 is
draft.
scary.
Yeah. And then you worrying about what you're gonna do. So you get the panic mode, trades happening, and then sometimes your team just doesn't gel yet. Then week 5, and then now you clicking. So
Yep,
it
yep.
all
Everybody's
depends.
on.
Yeah, it all depends. All depends. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm trying to see who I'm going to eye. I think I got a solid 2 people for round one, who I want. And
Yeah,
again,
I
I don't
think
know how young people gonna go. If I want all the vets right now, I don't know
I know.
what's what.
I got a couple players in mind. I just know that once once one of my players go, I'm gonna have to fully pivot, right? It kind of like how you
Oh
said,
yeah,
like, what your mode is gonna be, whether it's a win now or win later. Um,
yes,
and having that mix of people, especially ones who've never done it and ones who have, I feel like the ones who have not done it are gonna give fits to the people who've done this before because they don't know how to, like, I don't want to say they don't know how to draft, but they're not
yeah,
in tune with the drafting when it comes to
right,
dynasty.
right, right. Yeah, they could be stuck on the redraft mode too, because it's
Right,
definitely a change. It's definitely a change. You don't necessarily draft the same way, I would say, but that's my personal strategy. Some people like, well, I'm gonna just do what I know a redraft, and then I can work out the trades and stuff later. You got your
right.
rookie picks and your future draft picks, so that's cool that we get 3 years worth of rookie, potential rookie draft picks. So 2026, 27, and 28 worth 4 rounds each.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of things
so
can happen. A lot of things.
so with those picks though, we don't know where we're gonna draft like during that year, right?
Right, right, right. So that's the hook too. You don't know. I can trade you let's just say a 2027 first round pick, right? You don't know what my pick is going to land at until the end of that season, obviously, going into 2027, right? So
Yeah.
it could wind up being a very first round, first pick. I could have a trash season that year, and then now you
And
got my
oh
first.
wait, so wait, is the rest of the draft order based off of how you did?
Yeah, so that's literally how it is year by year. So let's
What?
just, yeah, so basically, if I traded you, you gave me CMC, right? I gave you a 2027 first round rookie pick, draft pick,
Yeah.
right? 2027 comes, obviously my 2026 season. Now we going into 2027, obviously. If I end up being the worst, I could potentially, I just gave you the 101 pick for the rookie draft of 2027. So you have
That's
that,
crazy.
not counting your first round draft pick, unless you traded it away, of course. So
Right.
now you
So
got
like,
two first round draft picks. You got my 101 now. Now you get to pick any rookie that you want, and you have your pick depending on where you placed that previous
so
year. So
so you could potentially have like let's say out of 2026 or 2027, you could
hmm
potentially have like the first like four picks.
yeah, if you're trading right, okay. So I'm gonna tell you one thing from another league. Right, we're doing Dynasty. I only got the one other league I was telling you about. That's Dynasty specific. I've been trading stuff. Right, we just had our rookie draft. Just last month. I was willing and dealing. Made some things happen. I actually traded. I had three first round rookie draft picks. Three, yes. And they was like, "Whoa, what's going on? What's clear?" So after I
Hey,
made these trades, and nobody else, I was the only one with three first rounders. Nobody else even had two in the round. So I had
what?
three of them. Yeah, so I had three of them. So they started calling me. What's the GM for the Eagles? Um,
Oh,
what's his name? Howie. They started
what's that
calling me.
dude's
Of course, it's escaping me. But yeah, they started joking. Started calling me the GM for the Eagles. You
Yeah,
know
that's
how they always
crazy.
say his good trade. His rookie drafts and everything he does is pretty good. So they
Yeah,
start making that joke. But yeah, I had three first rounders, man.
that's wild.
Think I hit. I did pretty well. I did. Who did I get? Tyler Warren, that tight end coming out. That's
Okay.
on the Colts.
Yeah.
I think it's Jaden Higgins. That's on the Texans. Yeah. And then I did Emeka Ibuka from the Bucks. I was like,
What?
it might get real scary if they,
Oh,
if they live up to what they, they should be or they've been talked about. So
yeah.
yeah, they
If
was
they,
like, man, this man, they knew after I got that third first rounder. I did that like a week or two prior to the rookie draft. They was like, when they saw that, they was like, oh, he about to clean up.
yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Getting in the trenches, they starting to wake up. That league is starting to be real, way more active than what we were the first couple of years. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, that's good to hear. Hopefully, this league we're in has the same feel from year one.
yeah,
Um,
yep.
if it doesn't, I feel like it's still whatever. I mean, it's still gonna be a lot of wheeling and dealing. So
Yeah, yeah. I definitely. I think redraft and everybody real uptight. It's hard to really get trades off, in my experience, in leagues to redraft. But I think Dynasty kind of forces you because now you let if you want to be stingy and not trade, okay, your team will get old, and then you wondering, if you left on the island, it's getting real
where
dark.
you at?
It's getting
Yeah.
dark outside. You got to think about what you gonna do, and it makes you start to try to you got to trade and make some things happen. So that's the cool part. Keep everybody active.
Okay. That's something to keep in mind for sure.
Yep, yep,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if you want to give any more insight to, I guess, to this, or
yeah.
uh, I don't know if you
Well, I
want to
mean,
give.
we got our draft. I mean, how you feeling in general about it? I know it's we 11-day countdown.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, I'm excited.
Hmm.
I have an idea of how I want to draft. If I want to win in the future, how far in the future, right? I don't want to sit here and take 2, 3, 4 years just to win. But I also know that to draft and to win that year, something special has to happen. I feel like,
Yeah,
but I have an idea. I have a couple of ideas on like how I want to draft and who I want to draft to make sure I have those certain players
yeah,
kind of locked and loaded for the next couple of years.
yeah, 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 man. I think it's gonna be cool. I want to see, like I said, a lot of fresh faces in the league. We don't know who's what really, and then you throw the dynasty aspect in it. I think it's gonna be real cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And,
man, you want to tell them, what you think the game plan is in terms of, you want to start doing this when like once a week, in terms of where we do check-ins, maybe, in
yeah,
terms of,
uh so we're gonna try and do this every Tuesday ish after that Monday night football.
yeah,
Have you guys tune in. We'll give you kind of like an update on the week before, but also give you insight for that next week. So I feel like that's something that we're gonna bring to the table.
yeah, that's cool, man. I think, because I think our waiver wires is that Wednesday. It's like always like a Wednesday morning. So I think Tuesday
Yeah,
nights,
and those
yeah, I think that'll be a good sweet spot for us to do once a week. Do the recaps and get ready
uh,
for next week.
and those waiver wires, man, they get real tricky too.
Yeah, yeah. You don't know of course you got that we got the bidding process with the dedicated, dollars. So,
Yep,
people try to low bid if you want, but go get your guy if you want to go get him. So,
that's what I
people
say. If you want
sometimes
them,
I done
go get
seen
them.
it right. You got to throw $40 in the pot. If there's somebody you need to get. You looking real scary at running back. So, whatever the case may be. So that's what's cool part too. So yeah.
But yeah, I guess we're just gonna wrap up this first episode 0. I don't want to call it one just yet.
Right, right, right.
Episode 0, right? This is kind of just before the draft that we
Mhm.
have, and we'll definitely let you guys know after we draft how things are going to be within our teams, how we feel about our team, if there are any trades that are made before the draft, because we could trade before the draft too, right?
Oh, I mean, technically, I don't think there's no rule against. Now that I think about
There
that.
you go.
I mean,
So
would you be willing to trade a future draft pick to get an extra pick in your startup draft? That's an idea. I didn't think like that. We might have to talk to the other co-commissioners to discuss
yeah,
that. Maybe that needs to be discussed as an option.
I think things can get real scary, but we'll definitely keep you guys updated on who we picked up, how we feel about them, what what the upcoming week is going to look like for us. I definitely appreciate you guys, tuning in. Uh, if you're liking what you're hearing, go ahead, subscribe, go ahead, and leave those comments. Everything is appreciated, and we appreciate you guys.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll check in with you guys. I think August 21st is our draft, though, 11 days away. So we'll check in with the results and then kind of go from there.
yep, yep.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, take it easy.